Well, we all poor.
Damn, back to McDonald's. Well, JC, it's been fun. We learned a lot, met a lot of good people, made a lot of bad decisions, but it's all over. Pack it in, guys.
Yeah, Alex Becker posted on the X. It's been fun creating financial or committing financial suicide with you all. Pass the Drano.
All right, guys. Well, we take shots of Drano on the live show tonight. We are going to explain to you the million things that are going on right now in the markets, and it is bloody. It is not good, guys.
So today, this morning, before the real State of the Union, you're going to have the Reptar and JC State of the Crypto Union, and some say it's the suckiest state it's ever been in, and
some say it's going to be the greatest market crash we've ever seen.
I like to blame the whales and the big boys for crashing it on purpose, and I'm just here to tell you that we're gonna make you better. And okay, anyway, whatever.
Oh, well, guys, in all reality, in all seriousness, there's a lot going on right now. The markets are absolutely collapsing. Every market across the board. We're gonna get into it. We will start with the bubbles as we always do. But guys, there is going to be a lot to talk about, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's get into it.
It's a train, but yeah.
Oof.
There you go.
All right. So obviously things are a little bit more down than they were. JC, can we just look at the monthly chart just because that really kind of shows how bloody it really has been over the past month. You know, we are seeing a 25 to 30 to 40% correction and almost across the board. You have these dumb Pippin and weird stocks that are, projects that are just kind of pumping randomly. But mostly everything is down. All of the good projects, and especially Bitcoin, guys. I mean, for the year, look at that, 33% from 124,000. I mean, this is bad. We have not.
This is just from the year to the year is 33%. From here, if you do the math there, that's one. If you double that, that's 126. We're almost 50% down from all-time highs.
Yeah, it's bad, guys, and it's not just crypto. We're gonna get into this in a little bit, but 47%. Yikes!
And that's from the year. That's not all-time highs. We're down almost 60%. That's almost a 2/3 drop.
Yeah, It's definitely not good, guys. This is I was looking at some statistics. This is the most Bitcoin has ever dropped. If we continue to be red throughout the end of February, it will have been, I think, it will be the most consistent drop we've seen in Bitcoin in the past like 7 years.
That means one of two things. Either it's all over and Bitcoin's going to zero, or something fishy going on.
So let's pull up the fear and greed index, and then we'll get into what people are saying about Bitcoin right now. So this is going to be interesting. So
it's only at 11.
I checked it yesterday, guys. It was at 4. Things. I don't think I've ever seen the fear and greed index at 4 before. I don't think it has been at 4.
Yeah, at least not this one. Now, this is the Coin Market Cap Fear and Greed Index. There may be other ones that are lower. This one has the all-time, well, the yearly low Fear and Greed Index was on February the 5th of this year at 5. But there's other places that have Fear and Greed Index as well.
Yeah, and it's, again, guys, I just want to reiterate, this is not just Bitcoin. This is across the board. We're going to get into it, but crypto is definitely getting hit hard along with everything else right now. So the stock market is getting absolutely wrecked as well. These price drops don't seem as substantial, but a 3 to 4% move in the stock market is a very, very big deal. There's a lot more money in the stock market. JC, what was it? $700 billion today.
Yeah, 700. This was posted yesterday. So this is Monday's market. 700 billion wiped out from the U.S. stock market. That's just value. That doesn't mean people lost money, because that's basically $700 billion of what essentially amounts to market cap.
And again, guys, $1 billion, even 1 billion, like, it's hard to even imagine how much money that is, because it's $1 million 1,000 times just for $1 billion. So $700 billion, that is an ass load of money. Just
that is 700,000 times 1 million.
Yeah, it's hard for your brain to even fathom how much money this actually is, and it was one day. So
yeah, so this is not. Don't think, oh no, crypto is bad, I should get in the stock market. Well, yeah.
And, we're skipping around a little bit, but, the housing market also is not doing very well either.
We'll talk about that as well. We've got a lot of understand, and we've said this before, and if you're here watching us, you're aware of this. Crypto does not exist in a vacuum. It exists in a broader world market, and things are going down right now.
Yeah, the world market is not doing well. And the US dollar is not either. That's something we'll talk about here in a second as well. But
yeah, and just so you know, I'll hit this real quick. 96% chance no rate cut in March. 82% chance no rate cut in April, and it's about 50-50 in June. Rate cuts imply cheaper money. Lower interest rates means the people that borrow are the people that would borrow are more likely to borrow for riskier ventures, that sort of thing. But this is probably where we want to start out with, Reptar. This one, yeah.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, guys, crypto is definitely crashing hard right now, but there is a lot more to the story. So I'll let you take over, JC. But as JC just said, the Fed is not looking like it's cutting rates soon. So this is, kind of a big deal. We have to repay, in case you guys weren't paying attention, Trump, his tariffs were basically reversed, and now we have to pay back $600 billion.
We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But yeah, this is from Ox Nobler, Crypto Nobler. Great person to follow. I find their analysis pretty good, and even though I do have some disagreements here, but 98% of people will lose everything this week. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. The only people that lose everything are the people that leverage, because then you're on the hook for more than what you put in. But yeah, gold is, I don't know, like gold is 5,200, but last week it was 5,100. And I know it ran up to 5,600 again, and it dropped back down to 5,200, but that's not. Silver 88.15 is not. Neither one of the things are bad. I think those are about where they were in the last couple of weeks. I know they ran up more than that, but then they dropped back down, and then they dropped down, and then they came back up, and it's. I don't know that that's necessarily a huge negative. The Fed won't cut rates. That is correct. The U.S. has to repay $600 billion in tariff revenue. That is not what the ruling said. The ruling said that the particular statute that Trump was trying to use to justify legally his authority to issue tariffs did not apply. And the White House has said that's fine. There are other statutes that we can and will use. So I expect that to be the next play for him to say, well, you know what? I know we can't. The Supreme Court says we can't use U.S. code, blah 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 blah. So we're going to use U.S. code C and D to implement our tariffs.
If you think they're not going to bend the rules to benefit themselves, then I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, look, if that's his agenda, he has to legally justify it. And if he can, like obviously the Supreme Court said, no, that's not, you're misusing that particular law. That doesn't apply here. He's like, okay, well, I'll use something else then. And that'll be challenged in court. And I mean, but the Supreme Court did not say that the United States has to pay back tariff revenue. They like the Supreme Court can't say that.
Yeah, that would be a
Congress can.
If it was ruled.
Congress can. Yeah. Congress can say, look, in light of this, you have to. We're going to have to cut these checks, and that I think there are some bills being introduced to make that the case. We'll see. As of right now, the U.S. does not have to repay the tariff revenue. Not yet. The dollar is crashing. Yes. This is not a commodity super cycle. Yeah, commodities are not like going through the roof as far as prices go. This is market collapse, possibly. His analysis last time we saw something like this: equities dumped 60%. The bond market this is.
I was just going to say that the dollar, what he means by disintegrating, they just, and I mean like an hour ago, printed and injected $9 billion into the economy. We can go over that later, JC, but I just wanted to touch
it's in here somewhere.
When he says the dollar's disintegrating, he's really talking about inflation is just getting worse and worse. So
well, and it's to me some of this you and I, Reptar, and here on the live chat, you guys will remember, in the last couple of weeks, we laid out the plan to weaken the dollar. What was it, the Mar-a-Lago Accords or whatever? Like, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We literally talked about this is the plan, is to make the dollar weaker so that investment comes here. You think about, the Japanese yen and all this carry trade, whatever stuff, and it was because the yen was cheap as compared to other assets, and so you could take out a loan in yen with 0% interest. Now that Japan has raised their interest rates, the yen is more expensive, so those trades got unwound. According to what we remember reading on the Mar-a-Lago Accords, the plan was to weaken the dollar so that companies would bring their businesses and create jobs in the United States because it would be cheaper. So, on one hand, that is a plan and a strategy. On the other hand, if you want to come at it from the other side, like this guy saying, the dollar is disintegrating. Which one is it? Is it both? Fed treasuries are I don't know. like, I don't know if I agree with this statement entirely. What do you guys think in the chat here? Or Reptar, what do you think?
I wouldn't definitely not say the biggest risk on the board. I mean, I think what he's trying to say is they were
Fartcoin is riskier, but you know.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know. It's up, but realistically, treasuries were one of the safest things you could buy, and now I think they aren't as safe as they perhaps once were. Again, they were risk free. I wouldn't call them the biggest risk on the board, but
yeah,
it is concerning.
I think this is a little bit of Chicken Little, the sky is falling, which is understandable when markets are completely getting slaughtered like they are now. Take crypto out of the equation. Look at markets and economies, and use the same when in doubt, zoom out. What happens? Stock market go up.
So this part I really liked, because if it is heading towards like a complete market collapse, this would make sense to me, and it's not all doom and gloom if that is what happens. Because we talked about this a little bit on the show, that, and JC just kind of mentioned this, when you devalue the dollar, it's cheaper to borrow. And if they crash the price of all these assets, they can rebuy them and make a lot of money. So to me, it seems like we could be seeing this manipulation and everything dumping, because they are, obviously trying to get in, because the financial system, again, is being rebuilt with all these different projects. So why wouldn't they try to buy it at a discount?
We'll see. These points that he makes are possible. Dump your bonds, force yields higher, back the Fed into panic printing to buy its own debt.
They just print $9 billion,
and they are buying. They are using it to buy back these treasuries,
which are now falling and cheaper. Again, guys, we're just we're showing both sides of it, but it's definitely an interesting what's going on. And obviously,
guys, in the history of the markets, money printer go burr means prices go up. Now, does that mean your asset, that price goes up, is more valuable? No, the asset is still as valuable as it is. What is it like? Let's do this. Let's go here. All right. Here's the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin to USD. Okay. This is the price of Bitcoin measured against the dollar. Bitcoin has cost more dollars. What happens if you flip the thing and go US dollars to Bitcoin? This chart inverts, and that means your dollar is going down versus one Bitcoin. That's really, like, yeah, this chart looks great, but in reality, it means your dollar is worth less Bitcoin. Your dollar is worth less milk, less bread, less beef.
That is exactly what's happening, and you just don't see it. You see the price of Bitcoin going down.
You see Bitcoin price goes up. That means I can get more dollars for it. Well, that's great, but each dollar buys less too.
Yes. So, but yeah, I just thought this was interesting. There's a little bit more JC to the post, but again, he's talking. The point of this post is, if you're paying attention to what's going on, gold and silver has been crashing as well. But it's not all doom and gloom, guys. Like, if you are paying attention right now, as this guy says, and you're buying all of these good projects, you're buying gold, you're buying silver, you're, diversifying and getting into different good stocks at these prices, you are going to do well in the next few years. Any time ever that anyone has ever bought during these periods of fear in the market, it always ends up working out. So as bad as things look, it's important to remember that
if you can afford to park your cash for 10 years in anything, in stocks or in gold or silver, like, or crypto, if you can afford to park your money and you pick good things that have use, if you can park your money in land, if you can park your money in an appreciating asset, which just means an asset that doesn't lose value or break down. Don't park it in a car unless it's a collector's edition.
Even then.
But if you can park money in 10 years, the odds are really good that that particular item, while it is like if you buy an acre of land, in 10 years, it is still 1 acre of land. It has not changed. But it will be worth more cash. Has it really changed in value? Yes and no. Anyway, we don't do financial advice, so take that with a grain of salt. All right.
What do we got next, JC? Ooh,
this is interesting. I would love to see a source on this. The Federal Reserve and the Federal Deposit FDIC are warning that major banks like BOA, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Citibank are at risk of collapse. These banks hold trillions of dollars in derivatives. I would love to see a source on that. Breaking from where? Did the Federal Reserve really say that? They don't tend to say stuff like that. So,
yeah, it's interesting. But
can we get a source?
Yep, right there. First comment. But yeah,
I don't know. I'm just looking to see if this guy actually put in a source. Apparently, this is what we need to do to grow our social media: is just make random statements that are not true. Like $10,000 XRP.
The important thing on this as well, guys, too, is the banks are definitely in panic mode for sure. I don't think the banks are going to collapse. I mean, anytime that's ever happened, they've been bailed out. So I'm sure that would happen again if the banks ever did collapse. But I do think that they're threatened by things like XRP for sure.
This was just something that you need to be aware of today. There was a Fed CEO speech at 8 a.m. I haven't seen any transcripts or anything. There's supposed to be an FOMC president speech. They're supposed to inject $8 billion of liquidity today. Supposed to be a Fed governor speech. There was supposed to be allegedly a Trump economic speech, a huge economy announcement today at 9. Oh, this is 9 p.m. That's why. Okay, Crypto Nobbler. Trump to make a huge economic announcement today at 9 p.m. Today at 9 p.m. is the State of the Union address. I'm sure he'll be talking about the economy. That's retarded. All right. But like a lot of stuff going on today. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on around the world. You have Iran. You've got the craziness in Mexico. Like stuff is going on, and crypto doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Yeah. But it looks like some people know what's coming. It looks
maybe
like
I saw this, and I also saw one that said the same thing. The Trump Insider with 100% just opened like $120 million short.
It was a couple days ago, and if you notice, the price definitely shorted, and now they're reopening.
Now they're longing. Yeah,
they're longing. So I think that's interesting. But not everyone is as bullish on crypto right now. BlackRock, again, this was a little bit earlier, but they are moving money to exchanges, which usually means that they're trying to sell. So there's going to be a lot of volatility today, guys. It's really hard to tell where the markets are going, and people are not bullish, to say the least.
Let me adjust this because the next thing needs sound.
So you guys are about to hear what everyone has been saying about Bitcoin for the past 15 years, and we've all heard it a million times, but we're gonna hear it again. This was shared by Altcoin Daily. The influencer is gonna explain what he thinks about Bitcoin, and
and this one's a minute, and then there's a response. And if you have little ears around you, you may want to mute for the next little bit.
Yeah, viewer discretion is advised. JC hasn't even seen this yet, so
yeah.
Here we go.
I bet half the people are on suicide watch. Remember, go back literally a month ago when me and Sneeko were collabing, sitting at the restaurant talking about Bitcoin, and I'm like, Bitcoin is dog shit. Bitcoin, don't trust this fucking garbage. It's a horrible investment. And everyone in the chat's like, bro knows nothing. Bro's a retard. Like, don't listen to this kid. He's got no idea. Like, vindicated. Jesus. Like, you guys are a bunch of fucking clown retards for buying into this shit. Okay? Genuinely, how do you believe this? How do people saying, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, a completely uncentralized, deregulated, basically nothing. It's not a thing. It's not a product. It's not anything. It's a bunch of fucking numbers on a blockchain, and you guys are investing in this piece of shit. Okay? Calling me the dumbass when I tell you, oh no, Bitcoin's going up. It's increased by.
So if Peter Schiff were Gen Z, basically.
Yep. Oh, we gotta go. Bye.
And the response.
Vindicated at Sneeko. Hey, well, it goes up and down. Crypto price has gone up and down. My average buy-in price, it's funny, it's at 6.4. Yeah, Solana's crashing right now too. What they try to do, Collab, let me explain it. So right now, people are outraged about the Iran war. They're outraged about the Epstein files, and now they're putting out outrage about Mexico. You're supposed to be super upset about this. So while all this is going on, what they do is they crash the stock market, they crash the prices of gold, they crash the prices of Bitcoin, they crash the housing market, and then the same people will buy up all the losses. Clav, you should look at the Battle of Waterloo. So at the end of the French Empire, at the end, there was the Battle of Waterloo, where the Brits fought the French, and this is the end of the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon lost the Battle of Waterloo, but at the time, the Rothschild family controlled the media in England. So what they did was they put out in the British media that the British actually lost the battle against the French in the Battle of Waterloo. You know what happened? Worldwide panic. Well, national panic in England. And everybody started selling, everybody started going crazy. While all the prices were low, the Rothschilds who controlled the media, they also bought up all the low stock and they became extremely rich. Turns out they won that battle. But at the time there was no internet. People didn't figure out until much later what really went on. They didn't realize that the French Empire was over and Napoleon, his reign was done. History repeats itself. During COVID, clavicular, COVID pandemic had everybody panicking. Stock market down, crypto down, everybody panicking. We found out later that the entire thing was a scam, right? We could see in the Epstein files that Bill Gates had maybe planned this out with Epstein for long before then. Pandemic simulation, right? They said that this was a deadly virus similar to the plague. We found out later that the death rate was being conflated with anybody who died. If you had the flu, they counted it as a COVID death. They forced everybody to get the vaccines. Right? These people, these companies made a lot of money from selling these vaccines. And we found out that it wasn't really a dark plague. It was pretty much equivalent to a flu. And it was blown out of proportion. The rich got richer, and it was the biggest wealth transfer in modern history was COVID. We look back now and we see how ridiculous it was.
All right, we can leave that point there, and let me.
We'll cover. It's guys. He goes on basically at the end of that clip and explains that this has happened a million times before. Anyone that has bought during these periods where people are absolutely panicking, not only is the markets being manipulated right now, but they're being manipulated so they can be bought up cheap and then sent to the moon, as we say. But, they need people to panic sell first, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing just absolute fear in every market across the board, and I guarantee you in the next few days we're going to see some major buying going on by these entities that control the world and the media and the banks. Very interesting.
The cool thing about the world we live in now is we know within seconds, or in Bitcoin's case, minutes, when a transaction settles. We know everything that happens on the blockchain. But yeah, I mean, his analysis there historically is 100% accurate. The Rothschilds, who controlled the news in England and all of Europe, really, in English newspapers, circulated that France had won the Battle of Waterloo, and it caused a panic in the markets. And all right, am I back? Can you hear me? Am I back? Am I back yet? All right. I'm back.
I'm back. I thought it was me.
I got Reptar's internet virus there, apparently. I blame the aliens.
No, we were talking about the Rothschilds and we were talking about the banks, and they cut us off. That's exactly
YouTube.
what happened.
We triggered the hidden YouTube algorithm.
Are we back?
Yeah,
we back?
I think we're back.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
We're back. The Rothschilds heard us talking about them, and they cut us. But we reestablished the connection. I got new hamsters running, and
So let's just say a powerful family in the 1800s led people in England to believe that England had lost this battle, and so they sold everything. And that powerful family and their friends bought everything up. Let's fast forward to 1913, when another certain family that rhymes with A.B. Schmorgan and their friends, including the Smoth IRA Childs, created something called the Federal Reserve, and all of the small local banks in the various states had to close. And who bought up all of those small banks? That's right, A.B. Schmorgan.
guys,
So
history
why would anyone with that knowledge not look at the current situation and go, man, we're being... And I had breakfast this morning with some friends of mine from church, and one of the guys said this term, and I thought it was excellent: cultivated outrage. What is your social media feed telling you? Just like the guy in the video that we just watched said, you're being told to worry about Iran, you're being told to worry about Mexico, you're being told to worry about stocks and markets and AI. Oh, we lost Reptar again.
I'm back.
Yeah, Reptar's back. But we're being told by our social media feed to worry about all this stuff. And we're being told that the markets are collapsing. And we're being told that housing is going down. And it is, but we're also, it's front and center. Like, hey, guys, pay attention. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Sell everything. What are they doing in the meantime? If you're selling, somebody's buying.
The same people that told you to sell. What do we got next?
All right.
Well, the hamsters.
A little bit of good news while the hamsters are still running.
So, is this doom and gloom?
Interview.
Is it all over? Are we poor again? Is that the real question? Is it all
For
over,
now.
JC?
Yep, it's over.
Oh,
We're not pre-poor now. We're just poor.
all right, guys. Well, that's it. I hope you guys had fun. Good show today.
But what happened in England in the 1800s when they realized that, oh, no, wait, we won. Napoleon is gone. This whole, French empire that's sweeping all of Europe is done. We are not going to be conquered. We won. What happens? Yay, euphoria. Who bought the fear and greed index of Napoleon when it was at 5. Yeah.
The same people that cut our connection and continue to do so. They know.
Right. So we're not going to talk about them anymore because apparently they don't like us. All right. Brian Armstrong did an interview on CNBC here, and you can see there that is actually at the White House. Said the crypto market structure bill is almost ready to sign. Now, what's annoying as hell is that the House passed the Clarity bill last July 2025. The Senate has been sitting on their old asses with their thumbs up their butts for almost 9 months.
You expected them to be fast and efficient about anything?
No, I didn't. In fact, I did not.
It's been brutal, guys.
They all need to be gone.
It really has.
We'll do those here in a minute. But yeah, it's not just Brian Armstrong. There are plenty of people saying that, hey, actually, we are pretty close to a deal.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about in other shows, like the Clarity Act and a lot of this regulation that's coming and the institutional investment, that's all still coming. And there seems to be some positive updates on that as well. Like JC just said, Brian Armstrong's meeting, the CEO of Coinbase, meeting with the White House, and there's some things going on behind the scenes that are indicating that prices are not going to stay down forever, even though we are pretty much bleeding out right now.
Yeah. All right. From Sophia Laney, I guess, I don't know. This is just, again, to reiterate our point here. Let me pull this back up. Screen share. All right, I'll pull this back up. Again, from Sophia Lane. Crypto fear greedy back down to 5. Extreme fear. When it hits levels like this, retail panic sells and whales quietly buy. Like I just said, someone is buying when you're selling. Now, sometimes that's schleps like us who are buying the hype and we get pump and dumped. But on stuff like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and XRP and Chainlink and all of these projects with longevity, it's not retail is not buying the dip. Whales are buying the dip.
Yep, the people that already have all the money in the world.
And let's see, is that one? I want to do this one. I think you sent me this. Bitcoin is down 47% from all-time high. Historically, buying at minus 50% has a 90% win rate over 1 year and a median return of 95%. So if you're buying when Bitcoin is down 50%, within a year, you have had, historically, a 90% chance of almost doubling your money in 1 year's time if you're buying when Bitcoin is down 50%. If you're buying when Bitcoin is down 70% from the recent all-time high, you've never lost. In the history of Bitcoin.
That's the thing I wanted to touch on too, is if you guys bought Bitcoin at $4,000, which is my actual entry price when I first bought Bitcoin, you are not upset about the current price of Bitcoin at 64,000. But if you bought it at 120,000, thinking it was going to go to $1 million the next day, yeah, you're probably a little pissed off and you're down 50%. But long-term, Bitcoin has never lost, and I don't see that changing. This technology is here to stay, and the value is always fluctuated very dramatically. So all I know is any time I've ever bought one of these dips where we were down 50% or 40%, it's always come back, and we've always done very well. So
at some point, that trend will break because Bitcoin won't drop 50% anymore.
Yeah.
But it's right now we're still early in the crypto adoption, and early on, anything internet was up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. I am still long term so bullish on crypto that I am stacking down here what I can. I don't have a lot of extra cash laying around, but what little bit I do, I have some price targets and I have some orders already put in that if it hits that price, I will be buying some.
I actually just yesterday, I made some buys on Ondo, I made some buys on HBAR and Render as well, were my 3 buys yesterday, and it still went down today. I actually opened a 10x long on Solana yesterday as well because the prices substantially dropped, and there's usually a bounce. And I was trying to catch the bounce, and I got liquidated on a 10x long. So that's not even that much leverage. But as JC
that means if the price drops 10%, you're liquidated. Like not like it drops 1%. Like it had to drop 10% in a short amount of time.
Yeah. So it's trading right now is incredibly risky and very volatile, as JC said at the beginning of the show. That
is true. And our budget, we had to tighten our budget because everybody's got to tighten their budget. So my crypto spending money is whatever profits I can make in crypto.
And that's the thing, guys. Like everybody's hurting right now. You know, this is across the board bloodbath right now. But the people that are accumulating these assets in the next few years are going to do very well because these projects are not going anywhere.
Yep. I am going to make it my focus to not allow Facebook or X or social media or the news to dictate to me what I should be outraged about or what I should be panicked about or what I should be worried about. And I'm going to do my best to gather facts on my own and assess what's really true, what's being manipulated, what are they trying to make me think, feel, or do? And does that make sense for me, or are they doing that for them?
Damn, that sounds a lot like doing your own research, JC. Weird.
Maybe we should do our own research about everything.
Yes, guys, it applies to life as well. JC, what do we got next here on our handy anything? Nothing.
That's it. That's my last tab. That's all I got. We'll give this one more check and see what we're doing right now.
Oh, we didn't share the Coinbase update in the last. Here, I'll send the last one. It's a little bit of hopium for you guys before we end off today because, as we said, the adoption is still coming. There is still a lot of bullish news. And, you know, the Clarity Act is a big deal. That is going to that's going to be a big deal. So let me just share this real quick with JC. This guy. It was the Brian Armstrong clip, and then this one. We never shared the Coinbase CEO at the White House clip.
Oh, yeah, I do have that. I'm sorry, I skipped right past it. It is.
Hey, JC just wanted to leave us all with the doom and gloom and like, yeah, it's all over, guys.
I have it. Right there. White House officials. Oh, you want me to play it with sound? My job
job is to get a bill to the president's desk. Now, that is not a bill at any cost, but understanding that the democratic process works in a way that there's going to have to be compromises, and on all issues, individuals are going to have to give, and depending on their perspective, it might not be perfect, but let's not let perfect be the enemy of the good here. There's a lot of great aspects to this bill, totally separate and apart from the stablecoin issue here. And, if we can solve this issue in a way that narrowly addresses the issue that the banks have raised, but also permits stablecoins to be the amazing innovation that they are, and we want to encourage their growth, not only domestically, but internationally, then let's keep the overall picture in mind here. And let's see if we can find something that both sides can live with here. So I think we're closer to being able to get a result done than we ever have been on this particular issue. We're also closer to getting this bill done. I think, again, as I mentioned at the onset, leading up to that January 18th markup, this wasn't the only issue that was raised that key stakeholders had issues with, but this really has been the key issue that I believe if we solve this, it's going to start a domino effect here, and I think things could move pretty fast once it's resolved.
The major issue that he's talking about in the Clarity Act is the stablecoin returns. They do not like that people can hold stablecoins and get the 4% returns. It seems like the banks are kind of easing off on that. It seems like that might be in the works and being discussed, because I did see a few news outlets saying that they have kind of reversed their stance on it. So we'll see. There is a lot of hope. Again, the last clip I want to play is just from Brian Armstrong, the CEO, meeting at the White House. They're trying to get this done, and it is coming. There's just a lot of bureaucracy that's going to go on over the next couple months, probably, and a lot of market volatility. So, pay attention.
You want to play the? You want me to play the Brian Armstrong one?
How long is it?
38 seconds.
Yeah, let's go over it. Give these guys a little bit of hope before we end off today. Here we go.
Administration has been incredible on this. President Trump setting the tone from the top, naming David Sachs as the crypto czar, Patrick Witt, and then the Senate has been incredible as well. So they're meeting, as far as I can tell, daily on this to try to move this forward, and they just deserve a ton of credit. So all we've tried to do is behind the scenes be constructive, lay out potential solutions that can be a good win-win outcome for crypto and the banks. And I feel confident they'll get something done.
Is it moving forward with these rewards in place for stablecoin?
Yes, there's a small list of remaining open items, and I think that if a compromise can be found, this will get to the president's desk for a signature in a few months. The administration has been incredible.
Well, we'll see, won't we? But ask yourself this. Knowing what we talked about the historical patterns, and seeing all of the FUD that is being dumped all over all markets, is it possible that they're trying to basically do to us what happened in England back with Napoleon? Are they trying to make us all panic sell and be, fear and uncertainty and doubt, and just be like, well, I just got to hold my dollars because I just don't know, and this is safe? Are they trying to do that because they know what's really going on and where we're going?
I think that's exactly it. And Mr. Mark, loved the comment. A big sell-off to dump markets right before the Clarity Act. Classic manipulation.
Yeah. If you know the good news is coming, and the people making the laws know what laws are coming, and the people that pay the people that make the laws, and I don't mean you and me, also know what's coming, what would they do if their goal was to gather more money and power for themselves? I would make everybody else sell so that I could buy as cheaply as possible.
Yep. So the way I see it, guys, there's two options. You buy the fear and continue with the conviction that we've had for years over Bitcoin, and you wait for these markets to rebound, or you sell and you walk away from crypto and continue to hold dollars while the dollar collapses. And it's, to me, the decision is clear because crypto is the solution to so many of these problems. But I do understand taking a 50% loss is a big deal to some people, which is why we talk about diversification. You do not want your entire net worth in crypto, but you also don't want to have no exposure to it either. So
if you have no exposure, you don't get the rewards when crypto runs. You don't have the risk when it crashes, but you don't get the rewards. And it's a risk reward thing for me. I am not risking more than, if it went to zero, it would suck. But I think the odds of it going to zero are so much less than it being a huge win that I'm willing to take the risk. Now, as we've said, you do your own research, decide what your risk tolerance is, make your decisions based on what's best for you and your family.
Exactly. And guys, stay bullish out there. I mean, I know things are kind of doom and gloom right now, but the markets are a cycle. This is going to come back, and the adoption, the technology, everything is still here and it's still coming. So I am personally accumulating assets at these levels. Even if we do see another little bit of a drop, I do think we're very close to a bottom, and I do think things are going to come back. So Bitcoin is not going to zero.
I have stopped trusting the big boys. I firmly believe they are doing anything and everything they can to make themselves more powerful, more wealthy, more in control. And therefore, if they are telling me that it's going to snow tomorrow, I'm expecting 90 degrees and to go to the pool.
It's a good strategy. The inverse media effect.
Pretty much. All right, boys and girls, we've got interesting days ahead.
Get ready for volatility, guys. It's going to be a day, but we will be in the Discord. Guys, thank you so much for everyone that comes out to the live stream. Drop a like. Remember to hit all the buttons. Leave a hate comment, and hop in the Discord. We will have some more updates throughout the day on the Discord, and we got some events coming up this week. So definitely keep an eye out, and you'll get to bitch and hang out with some more degenerates about us all having to work at McDonald's again. So
yep. Hey, I delivered pizza all through college. Papa John's is awesome.
Papa John's is hiring. Great pizza. Papa John.
Yeah.
Monster.
Actually, I'd probably just Uber right now, so I don't have to deal with it, or DoorDash. But, yeah. All right. Have a great Tuesday. Keep your heads down. Keep your heads about you. And hey, good to see you, Crypto Daniel. Thanks for being here. But yeah, stack them and don't pay any attention to all the negativity. Just try and sort through what's true and what's not. Yeah, hop in the Discord so Reptar can close out his tickets.
Got you. I see you.
Chomp, chomp. See you guys.